Another common problem that we'll get phone called with, you're having a control problem. Just say your top one's working absolutely fine, and you're coming to this one, and you're getting no feedback from it at all. It's just not doing anything. Here's the first thing that we need you to check. So the first thing you need to check is you come up to these two fuse holders, and you need to check, obviously there's one for each control, so you need to work out what one it is. Now normally, if the control isn't working, again, the first thing you always want to check is your fuses whenever it's electrical. So you come up to it, and what you'll have is these blade fuses. Now you need to check in here, different types, but they're all relatively the same. They'll have a piece of metal that goes across, which is joining it. Now this fuse, if it's broken, it'll be like burnt out, and you basically won't have that piece of metal going across. Normally you get a little bit of black soot around it if they've blown. So check your fuses first. Right, if they're all okay and everything seems to be as it should be, then there's number two. This is the second thing you want to check, and we'll show you through that now. Right, so what you'll have, obviously off the battery, and this will be the same on most systems, especially all your facelift stuff, is they use what these are called bullet connectors or bullet crimps. You want to check these basically. That's one's to the pump. Right, so you would find that these will be maybe disconnected. So you want to make sure amongst all of them, because it's important, is that they're all connected properly. So you've got a male and a female end. Now what can happen, because this is the damp area at times, and the van gets damped and it gets condensation, is if the system's a little bit older, you'll find that these connectors start to corrode up a little bit, especially on the negative terminals. So you want to check that they're not all, it's like a greeny paste type looking thing. It's like a green layer that they'll get on them normally. If it's got that, clean it off, put it on. Another nice way of doing it with these bullet connectors is just twist them. If you just twist them like that, that'll bust it up and it'll give you a bit of a better connection. So check these, make sure they're all pushed together, and that's the second thing that you can do to make sure that all these connections are nice and tidy, they're all nice and tight, and that they're connected up properly. You've got the third thing that you need to check. Now, on these systems, what you can find is that, because obviously everything's lowered down, if you get a big spillage or anything like that, you can get water inside here. It doesn't happen all the time, but it has happened. Check here to see if this is all condensated. You'll see like water on the inside of the control face. At that point, there's a good chance that if the water has got inside there, it's blown the circuitry in there. So that can mean that you need to replace obviously your controller, and that would be the thing. So if you're getting no power to it, it's most likely this is gone. If the fuse and the connections are absolutely fine, then the controller's gone. At that point, you'd need to change it and put a new one on.